Someone asked God for your life and didn't know they were asking for the weight too. They saw your glow, but not what it cost to hold it. They envied your peace, but not the war that taught you how to keep it. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. There are people walking around right now who are angry with God, and they don't even know why. Because the thing they've been begging for, the strength, the presence, the wisdom, the favor, was wrapped in your face. And instead of becoming it, they were sent to watch it. They don't understand that you didn't ask for this either. You became it, because there was no other way to survive. They asked for your light, and heaven gave them a front row seat. But what they never realized is that light burns hottest when it's born in the dark. You've been studied like a test they forgot to prepare for, imitated like a language they never truly understood, and still you remained, uncloned, unbroken, unreachable in ways they can't name. There is a difference between admiration and obsession. One honors, the other tries to absorb. Someone is watching you walk into the store, not with hate, but with hunger. They don't know what they're craving, only that your energy makes them restless in their own skin. It's not the clothes, it's not the posture, it's what's inside you that keeps calling things outside of you to attention. They thought confidence looked like volume. You taught them it sounds like peace. They thought beauty came with angles and mirrors. You revealed it walks without needing to be seen. They thought power meant control. But your power was never about domination. It was about surviving what should have broken you and never becoming bitter. Someone asked God to be chosen. They prayed for what looked like elevation, but they didn't realize elevation feels like isolation. It feels like nights where no one understands you. It feels like breaking habits that feel like home just to build a future you can't yet see. They didn't see the cracking, the shedding, the silence that taught you how to hear God. They didn't see you hold your breath through seasons where everything in you screamed for relief, but you kept walking. They didn't see you put yourself back together without noise, without rescue, without anyone clapping. And now they see you glowing, and they think it's natural. They don't realize they're looking at someone who's been through 1,000 invisible resurrections. There wasn't a shortcut, just 1,000 small decisions no one saw. There wasn't a cheat code, just instructions carved in pain and followed in faith. Chosen ones, you weren't built for imitation. You were built for imprint. We both know it doesn't always feel like it from inside your journey, but from the outside, people see a masterpiece crafted by God's hands. And while others prayed to borrow your essence, you were in the fire, learning how to carry it without collapse. The difference, they wanted the crown. You learned how to carry the cross. You didn't earn this energy from being praised. You earned it from being pressed. You were shaped in seasons that had no audience and almost no hope. And now your presence is the evidence. The very thing they tried to become was you. Not the surface, not the style, not the filtered version they stitched together, but the real you, the forged you, the God-kept you, the one who bled in private and bloomed in silence. And here's what no one tells them when they pray to become someone like you. They don't get to skip the ache. They don't get to borrow the glory without the grief. They don't get to carry your light without being refined by the same fire that made you shine. They don't know that the gift of being you came with a garden of thorns planted before the flowers. And still, you never turned your back on love. You never let your heart rot from resentment. That's what makes you rare. That's why the prayer they whispered to heaven came back in the form of watching you walk fully into the thing they only talk about. Someone begged to be you, and heaven answered. Just not in the way they expected, because you weren't given this life. You became it. They thought being you would feel like winning, but they didn't realize being you also meant walking into rooms where no one speaks your language. They didn't see you carry wisdom that made people uncomfortable. They didn't feel what it was like to dim your insights just to avoid making others feel small. They don't know the guilt of being light in a room that still worships shadows. They only wanted your glow, not the loneliness of outgrowing every space too fast. Chosen ones, this isn't the kind of favor you flaunt. It's the kind you withstand. This anointing didn't land on you softly. It crashed. It rewired everything, and it made your spirit allergic to anything less than truth. You walk with discernment so sharp, it slices through illusion before it even speaks. And that kind of sight, it doesn't make life easier. It makes fakery unbearable. They don't know that some nights you asked God to take it back. The gift, the depth, the calling. Because it's hard being the answer in a world addicted to problems. It's exhausting being clarity in spaces that profit from confusion. But you stayed. You stayed when it would have been easier to hide. You chose integrity over imitation, and heaven took notes. That's why you're glowing now. Not because life got easier, but because you finally stopped resisting who you really are. And the people who beg to be like you, they're not evil. They're just unprepared. Unprepared to lose what you've had to lose. Unprepared to be misunderstood by people they love. Unprepared to walk by faith when every step feels like a question. They didn't know that becoming you meant letting go of everything that kept you small, even if it came with memories, even if it looked like love. They thought this kind of grace would make them popular. They didn't know it would make them misunderstood, because the kind of favor God placed on you comes with friction. It rearranges your relationships. It makes people project their fears onto your peace. And now that you're rising, now that you're glowing, they're starting to feel the distance. But here's the truth. You didn't rise to make them feel less. You rose because God refused to let you stay hidden under their comfort zones. You were always going to outgrow their version of you, because God had the original draft, and that's what makes you so hard to copy. You didn't build this from trends. You built this from tears, from prayers no one heard, from staying faithful when it made no logical sense. You weren't chosen for your charisma. You were chosen for your character, for the way you kept showing up, even when it looked like nothing was changing. That's why heaven backed you. That's why the anointing rested on you, even when you were still bleeding. And now the people who wanted to wear your shoes are realizing they don't fit without your walk. They don't shine without your surrender. They don't speak without your silence. It's one thing to admire the result. It's another to endure the refinement. But you did. You let life humble you without letting it shrink you. You let pain purify you without letting it harden you. You let love remain even when people gave you every reason to close your heart. That's not weakness. That's divine power. The kind that heaven trusts. The kind that can hold a blessing without turning it into a weapon. So if you ever wonder why it feels like people stare at you like they're trying to figure out a riddle, it's because they are. You're the answer to a question they're not ready to ask. The evidence of what obedience can create. The reminder that some prayers are answered through a person. And in this case, that person is you. Not because you were trying to be chosen, but because you kept choosing God even when nothing made sense. Someone begged heaven to become someone like you, but heaven knew they weren't willing to become nothing first. That's what it took to become everything God called you to be. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If you found value in this message, please like the video and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe and continue your amazing journey by watching one of the videos showing on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.